Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this dress. So the first thing I'm going to do is to fold my fabric into two in form of an angle. I'm using an Akara fabric, but it depends on you how you want to do it. The wider, the more angle you have, the more flare you will have. As you can see, this is an Akara. So, and then if I pull it up, you will see all the width of the fabric going down, right? So you see, I just angled it this way. If you want, you can move it a little further than this. So this is what I'm working with. And then after that, I ruled a straight line here. So on this straight line, I'm going to insert. So guys, first I'm inserting my waist divided by 4, and my waist divided by 4 is 36 divided by 4. So that's going to be 9. And then I'm going to add extra 2 inches to that. So I'm going to mark it. And then after that, I'm going to come down from the waist to the hip, which is about 10 inches down. And then on this line, I'm also going to insert the hip divided by 4. So mark that, and then I'm also going to add extra 2 inches to that. Yeah, that 2 inches can be your seam allowance, or you can do your seam allowance plus also your ease. So from there, I'm going to connect from here to the waist, and then from the waist to the body of the clothes. So you're just going to blend it in form of an A-line, because remember, that's what we are making here, an A-line. So that's basically it. So all I have to do now is just to put my tape back again. So guys, you're going to place your tape from the waist, and you're going to mark from your waist to your ankle plus like 1.5 for the seam allowance to fold the edge and join the body. So whatever it is, you're going to place your tape all the way like this and add it. So I'm using 42.5. So to that 42.5, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up by the edge here by at least 1 inch or 1.5, because this is an A-line. If I don't do this, this part will drop, or it will be too pointed. So go up here by 1 inch or 1.5, and then I'm going to blend it into the body of this. So that's basically it. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut. So guys, this is it here. I went ahead and cut it out. So you see, this is the first one I cut out. And then I folded the fabric again just like that and cut the second one. The difference between these two is that the first one, this one on top is the front panel, and then the one for the back has about 1 inch by the center extension of that, right? So you're just going to fold the fabric a little bit wider this time. Place the first one on top of it, and make sure you have about 1 inch in between here on the folded part. So after that, now I'm going to go ahead and cut this open into a straight slit for the zip, because there's going to be a back zip. So I'm cutting this all the way to the end. Guys, you see this here, I just went ahead and traced a basic bodice pattern. So my shoulder divided by 2 is 16. Sorry, my shoulder is 16 divided by 2 is 6. Came down 1 inch for the back neckline. The armhole, bust divided by 4 plus at least 1.5. Waist divided by 4 plus at least 1.5, and then like that. So now what I did is just to use this here to go to my fabric and trace it out. So you see, this is it here. So guys, I just use this to trace out this. So take it to my fabric and trace this out. You see, the exception here is that this here I traced it as a front bodice using just my bust measurement divided by 4. But when I went to trace it on the fabric, I added about 1 inch for this. This is going to be for the back panel. It's going to have zipper allowance. So this is why I have 1 inch here. Because normally if I was tracing it for a basic bodice for the front, I'll trace exactly this, right? On a fold here, and then I will get to the exact end. But you see what I did here? I moved it to the end here. So now this part here, all I have to do is just to put my scissors in and split it open, because it's going to be for the zip at the back. So guys, I cut that out. So I also cut out the 1 inch for the back neckline, and this is what it looks like, just like we always do. At the back again, I'm going to come up here by 1 inch, which is somewhere here, and then I'm going to blend it into the end here. This will help my back zip to relax and not bulk up, and also for the back panel to fit directly on the waist. So connect it all the way to the end here, and that's it. So I'm going to also cut this part off. This is just only for my back panel. So guys, you see that this fabric, this pattern I traced on the paper, I've used it to do 2 things now. So I'm going to use it to cut this front, this back panel, and then I'm going to take it the way it is now. I'm going to also use it to cut my front panel. So I just trace out what I need on the fabric and make the alterations I need on the fabric, but this basic pattern still remains the same. So I'm going to use it now to also trace my front panel. So guys, you see what I have here is the same thing for the front. So you see, I made sure that I have about 4 inches, which is just my nipple to nipple divided by 2. So you have at least 4 inches, or add +1 to that. So your nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus extra 1 inch. So that would be 5. So you make sure you have at least that here, so that depending on how much you want this to wrap inside of each other, that's how far you would go. But ideally you would use your nipple to nipple divided by 2, whatever it is, that's the extension you would have here. So, or just use basic 4 inches. So now all I have to do, you see, that's what I have. I know you're thinking why this is not the same, but it doesn't matter because my neckline is starting from this point. So my neckline is starting from my shoulder curve from here, because remember this is for the back neckline. So all I have to do from this point now is I'm going to cut this out. So I'm just going to follow this line and cut the neckline, cut the armhole, all the. So guys, now that I've done this, the next thing I have to do is just to put this paper away. So I need to also mark where the center of this is, because I need to know. And then I'm also going to mark where my dart is supposed to be. So I'm going to pick that up, notch it, and then I'm also going to notch the center too. So, and then after that I'm going to move. So now you see I move this paper away. The next thing I have to do is just to connect from this point of where my shoulder, the tip of my shoulder is. I'm going to just blend it in down to the angle here. So that's basically it. I'm going to now go ahead and cut. So guys, this is it here. I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and then this is my front panel now. So I'm going to go ahead and join the two of them, so you see. And then also don't forget, for this your armhole here, you're supposed to take out a little bit of it, like by ½ an inch, just here. So now I have this here. The reason I said to notch the center is just so that you know from the center. So I know the center that is here. So I know that from this center notch is here. So I know that these two notches will meet each other, and then that will be the center line of my clothes. And then this other second notch from here is now where the dart is. This second notch from here is where the dart is. And then I need to just use a seam to hold it together, because this is going to be a false wrap, so it's not going to be opening. And then I'm also going to take the back panel and join it this way, one shoulder to the other, this shoulder facing this one, and then this other shoulder facing this one. And then I'm going to come back, and then we'll cut the sleeve. So you see, it's going to look something like this shoulder, and then we'll cut out what will be our sleeve. Use bias to run through this, or you can use lining. So guys, this is it here. Like I said, all I did is just to pick my dart, use bias to line it so it's separate before, and now I've sewn it to hold just the front. You see, I've made it one piece. So I made sure that the notch I made for the center part is where I placed the two of them. So the center is here, and then I put my dart on both sides, placed it on top of each other, sewed it together. So now it's back together as one piece. So for the sleeve, you see this side, it depends on you the length you want your sleeve to be. Whatever you want to use, you can use 3 inches for the length, and then you add 1 inch of folding the edge and ½ an inch for joining it to the body here. You understand? So but what I'm using in total here is 5 inches. So 1 inch is what I'm going to use to fold the edge, and ½ an inch is what I'm going to join to the body. So that's going to leave me with 3.5 for the length. But you can change yours and make it a little bit shorter or longer, anyone you want. So the width I have here, the length I have here is actually 22. So I'm just going to, you can do measure from this point, just round your arm and do ×2 of that. So if I measure mine now, it's going to be about let's say from here to here is going to be about 20 or so. So 20 × 2 is going to be about 40. So if I open this into 2 now, I have almost 42 or 44 here. So you see, it depends on you what you want to use. So all I have to do is just to open up the sleeve, this side of it, right? Notch the center of my sleeve and then place it like this, and then just go ahead and start pleating it. So you're just making a pleat as you go, making a pleat as you go all the way to the end. Once I'm done, I close up the side. So once the two sides are done, I'll bring it back and show you guys how we are going to attach it to the skirt. But basically this is what the skirt is looking like right now. So I've gone ahead and closed up the side and then close up the center back. You see there's a seam at the center back here. I close it back up, but coming to the top here, I left about a few inches for the zipper that will be joining from the center back of the top also. So now what I'm going to do is just to go ahead now. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this side. Guys, if you want, you can add a dart to your skirt, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to give it a little bit, the part that was supposed to, because remember the waist, we did waist divided by 4 plus extra 2 inches. So just to get the waist to fit into this top part, I'm just going to pleat a little bit of it, like just pinch out that part that was supposed to act as a dart, pinch it away, because I don't want to add a dart to it. But if you want, you can add a dart on 2 sides of the front, 2 sides of the back. That way you've taken away 1 inch from it, and then the remaining 1 inch can just be your waist measurement, you understand, for your seam allowance. That way it will fit better, because right now is wider with extra 2 inches on both sides, right? So if I want it to make it equal with the top, I have to either put a dart here or use the dart as a pleat on top of it. That way it will now fit exactly to what the top bodice is, because the top bodice has a dart, but the room I made for the dart at the bottom part, I'm now saying I don't want to add a dart to it. So that's basically it. So now I'm going to just finish this up, and then I'm going to join this skirt to this skirt part. If you want, you can also add a pocket to yours. If you want, you can just close it up, and then I'm going to join. So you see, I'll join the front panel to the front panel, and then the sides, the back, I'm going to join this side of the back to this side of the back, and then this other side of the back to this other side of the back of the skirt. You see, that's how I like to sew my thing. That way I can just make one direct stitch from the top to the bottom, in case if I need to pull the waist in a little bit, and then one zip will go from the center of the two of them this way and come up all the way to the back. So let me go ahead and couple it together, and then you guys will see what it looks like. So guys, this is what it looks like here. So I've finished it. So just basically you add the sleeve, join the bottom part to it, and then this is what it looks like. Like I said, if you want, you can add a pocket to yours. If you want it more open at the end, you just angle the fabric even more. That way you can get more flare at the end. So this is the back here, and as you can see, it has a zip going down all the way to the skirt, and it has a belt. So that's basically it. Thank you guys so much. And guys, you see what I did here? I added a pleat everywhere the dart was supposed to be. You see there's a dart at the top, but at the skirt I made it into just a pleat of like folding the fabric. Same thing goes in front. Where the dart is supposed to be, I just pleated that piece. If you want, you can add a dart. So that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share and subscribe. Bye.